Well, he's been denounced as a bigot for what he said in an interview recently with GQ magazine. But what was Phil Robertson really trying to say?
Was he attacking the gay community, or was he merely opening up about his faith and his belief in the Bible?
Well, here with us now to weigh in on this is Fox News religion contributor, Father Jonathan Morris. It's always good to see you,
Thanks,
my friend.
Hi.
So what do you say about this?
You know what? Lessons learned on all sides. First of all, GQ, why are you setting people up to try to take them down with deep theological questions like, what is sin, to a reality TV star? First lesson learned. Second lesson learned. A&E and GLAAD, why so sensitive? What about the great principle of tolerance that should be for the gay community, that should be for everyone? Second lesson learned. Third lesson learned. I would say, you know what? If you're going to be a reality TV star and GQ asks you to do an interview, don't do it.
How do you think it was going to turn out, right?
But there's a fourth one that I think is important, too. That, yes, Phil Robertson, I've come to love him through this whole thing, was expressing his belief in the Bible. But you got to do it in the right way.
Right.
And that's an important lesson, too. They asked him, what is sin? And his response was, I don't think in a bigoted way, but not in the right way. He said, well, start with homosexuality, and it morphs out from there. Then he mentions a whole bunch of other sins. That is not exactly, I don't think, how Jesus would answer the question, what is sin? Sin is an offense, a willful offense against God. And there are lots of different types of sin. One last lesson.
That's such a good point. I mean, to boil all sin down to homosexuality is
yeah, and he didn't, but he said it start with homosexuality and it morphs out from there, so it sounds like it's boiling it down to homosexuality. One last lesson, let's not go after everybody and say, you know, because you're with Phil, I'm against you. If you're against Phil, I'm against you. The things that I've gotten on my Facebook page and on my Twitter account have just been mean and nasty because people get so passionate. Relax, think, and then respond.
Well, can I ask you, this may be a tough subject, but sex before marriage, I mean, that's a sin that a lot of people take part in, and are all sins equal? I mean, it's a sin dealing with sexuality. That's why I want to bring it up.
You know,
that was a heavy question.
It's a great question, and Phil Robertson explains it very well. He mentions a whole bunch of different sins. He says if you're sleeping around with lots of different women and you're a married man, that's sin. He wasn't saying it's just all about homosexuality, but it's the way in which you do it. And in the end, sin is a willful offense against God. We'll let God judge exactly
okay, let's add this,
which is worse than...
Let's add this component.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're all guilty. So no one should be throwing stones at anybody. How did Pope Francis describe himself recently? When they asked him, who is Francis? He said, I'm a sinner. I think we can all say, when you ask me, who am I? I say, I'm a sinner. And that brings a whole different level of respect and courtesy when you're talking about hot issues. Certainly levels the playing field.
Wise. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a great segment. Thank you.
Did we summarize everything?
Yes, that was really
you definitely succiently summarized everything. We've all got work to do to improve our lives.
Lessons learned on every single level.
Okay.
And can I get one of those sweaters, by the way?
I
am very envious of you guys.
Fit two of you in there.
I could wear it for my sermon this morning.
All right, Father Jonathan Morris,
Thank
thank you so much, sir.